Welcome. We're going to have a moment of silence followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please, Ms. Garza.
Yes. Chairman Williams,
Here.
Vice Chairwoman Kiefer, Mr. Albrecht, Mr. Demaria,
Here.
Mrs. Seberg,
Here.
Mrs. Williams,
Here.
Mrs. Stevens,
Here.
Mrs. Osorio Flores, or Miss.
Thank you, Mrs. Garza. Are there any additions and corrections to the agenda? Dr. Newman.
Personnel, ratification of personnel.
Okay, thank you. And Ms. Demaria was going to say 22. Inside joke, but no. Thank you very much, Dr. Newman. Mrs. Kiefer texted me that she's on the VRE on her way here, so she apologizes for not being able to be here, but can't control the trains. And I see Councilman Smith and Councilwoman Davis Younger in the back, so thank you both for being here. We appreciate it. And Mr. Williams, thank you very much. And I guess the rest of the staff, so thank you guys also for being here as well. We appreciate it. You all do, they all do count, very much so. There are no spotlights tonight. Are there any board committee reports? Looking to the left. Mrs. Seberg.
Okay, the academic committee met on December 11th. We received an update on PBIS, which is Positive Behavior Interventions and Support in all of our schools. We also reviewed the recess practices, and we found them all to meet or exceed our policies and state requirements. We reviewed the initial proposed calendar for the 2021-2022 school year, and we're currently polling staff members. The academic committee is meeting more often in March as we move through the calendar development timeline, and parents will be polled as well. There are proposed revisions to the 2019-2020 calendar, which is before the full school board tonight.
Thank you very much. And thank you for leading the work in the committee, because it's a very important committee. I know you do a lot of work with that, so thank you.
Enjoy it.
Don't acknowledge everybody. Next up, no more board committee reports, board member comments, and we will start with Ms. Osorio Flores.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman Williams. My name is Tanya Osorio Flores. Thank you again for giving me this wonderful opportunity to be representing all the schools in Manassas. I wanted to start off by inviting you guys to the games tomorrow for Mets Middle School at 4:45, the girls basketball team. And then there will be another game. Oh no, there will be a track meet at 4:30 at Osborne. And then there will be a wrestling match tomorrow also at Osborne. JV plays at 6 and varsity plays at 7. We also want to congratulate the wrestling team for getting a victory against Stonewall Jackson. Just a reminder, please come out and support our amazing dedicated athletes tomorrow and the following games. Thank you and have a wonderful night.
Thank you very much. And next, I'll just go to Ms. Seberg, since we just gave her a note to read it.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I would like to acknowledge our former student representative in the audience tonight. Would you please stand? Hamza Al-Jady, who is currently attending George Mason University, and we're glad to have you come back home. Thanks. Furthermore, in my comments, I'm sure you'll hear from many of us that we've, the past couple days, we've been down in Richmond, advocating for our schools in many ways in the areas of policy, funding, best practices, school safety, mental health, and did I say funding? Funding again. We advocate for local control because we know that what our division needs. We also advocate for no unfunded mandates because we don't want to burden our city with the financial needs to meet state-imposed requirements. In other comments, I just want to mention our robotics team on January 4th. Myself, Mr. Williams, and Dr. Newman attended the FRC kickoff in the makerspace at Osborne High School. This year's challenge is called Infinite Recharge, where robots will compete against 5 other teams. So there's 6 teams competing at first. And if you've never been to a robotics competition, you got to go. Robotics combines the excitement of sport with the rigors of science and technology. High school students say it's the hardest fun you'll ever have, and the team needs new members now. It's the start of build season. There's only 6 weeks left to design, build, program, and test the robot before competition season. It's the closest thing to real-world engineering as you can get. All interested Osborne students should contact Mr. Frederick or just show up in the makerspace and make yourself at home, because they need you. And I did want to say hello to my friends at Jenny Dean Elementary. I will see you on Friday because there's a Blue House meeting. It's a PBIS initiative, and I'm excited to see and hear what they've been up to. Thank you.
Thank you. And just going down the line, Mr. DeMaria.
Well, the ladies said everything I'm supposed to say. I guess you're going to give me the sports reports from now on, so I'm done with that. But yeah, get out and support our kids. We did spend time the last 2 days down in Richmond. We really appreciate Senator McPike and Delegate Carter for meeting with us and hearing what we have to say and understanding what we have to say, and hopefully they'll vote the way we say, but we'll see on that. We feel like we have the support of both of them, and they acknowledge what our needs are, and they also acknowledge that we are here to help them. If things come up, we should be contacting them, and we appreciate their open-mindedness on that. Besides that, I think I don't have anything else, so we're going to roll.
All right. Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you,
Mrs. Williams.
I guess I'm next. Yes, welcome. I am so excited you're here. What a pleasant surprise. Love to see faces of people who have just graduated come back to see us. Well, I don't think we've been here for the new year, have we? This is our first meeting. So I want to just express a happy new year to everybody and hope that they have set their goals and set them high. We have 2 semesters left, halfway through school. I think the 100th day of school is, wow, next week?
Wow.
It's coming.
Yeah.
It's coming very soon. So halfway there. So if we've got some catching up to do, let's move. Suzanne really did speak to our day-to-day, actually past 2 days in Richmond. And one thing I really realized is how thankful we are here at the City of Manassas Public Schools. Since 2015, the state of Virginia has really been focusing on making sure all the schools in Virginia have enough broadband so that all the children can have internet access. And just in 2 years, almost 3.1 million students in the state of Virginia have access to the internet at school. And interesting, we also got the opportunity to see Senator Serval, a friend of Mr. Williams. And it was interesting to hear, he represents part of Fairfax County, Prince William, and Stafford, and one of his goals is to make sure Fairfax County is all one-to-one, meaning each child has either a tablet or a little laptop. So that really made me realize how fortunate we are here at the City of Manassas. And that's all I have to say.
Thank you. Ms. Stevens.
Well, tonight I get to go last. We were all in Richmond for 2 days. We got to hear a good bit about the governor's proposed budget. We found out that there are already over 300 pieces of proposed legislation relating to education. In my spare time today, between sessions, I was trying to read through the summaries of all of it, and every time I read, I saw more legislation. There's a lot of really promising stuff on the horizon for our schools across the state and here in the City of Manassas. Unfortunately, I didn't get to meet with our legislators because I was in the new school board member sessions today, which gave me a lot of great information on things like the budget process, governance of schools, and all of that kind of stuff. So it was a really great experience. I did want to say Friday night, 7 p.m., Osborne versus OP basketball game. At the halftime show, there's going to be a youth showcase of our youth elementary school athletes, and everybody needs to get out and come see that because that's the future of our high school team, and we look forward to seeing them and hope you can all be out there. I think we're going to go as a family to see the kids and watch our team who has several three-point players who are ranked here. I guess it's just in the Cedar Run district or across Northern Virginia. So,
Yeah, there's 3 in the top 10.
yeah, we have 3 three-point players in the top 10, which is really quite impressive. And to see them play is just amazing. So get out there Friday night and see our current players and our future players.
Thank you. Mr. Demaria, do you have something else you want to add? Or?
No, I forgot about it, I was gonna pass it to you, but
I
Ms. Stevens
remembered.
already took care of it for me.
Okay. Well, thank you both. Teamwork, I like that. All right, next on the agenda, citizens' comments. Do any citizens want to make comments? I don't see any, so I will move on to the consent agenda. May I have a motion for the consent agenda, please?
I move that the school board of the city of Manassas approve the consent agenda as modified.
Second.
Motion by Mrs. Williams, second by Mr. Demaria, that the school board of the city of Manassas approve the consent agenda is modified. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Ayes have it, 5-0. Next up, discussion agenda. The first item is student achievement, and it says Mr. David Lyon, but I don't see Mr. Lyon, so I assume it's going to be Dr. Newman, Dr. Saunders, giving the Director of Assessment report. And I have to add, because we're all, well, many of us big sports fans, that LSU won the national title last night, and I know you have a
Absolutely.
son there,
Go
so
Tigers.
congratulations, on the victory.
I'm sorry to Miss Wingfield,
Yeah.
another Tiger fan.
But,
It's okay.
I know it's a
She
great feeling,
shared.
so congratulations.
So no, I'm not Dave Lyon. He was not able to be here this evening, so I'm going to share the proposed revision to the school year 2019-2020 calendar. As was stated, this was presented to the academic committee, and I'm here today to consider this. Okay, Alba? Consider this item. So our proposed revision, staff's revision, is to move the teacher workday from June 1st to April 13th. This will change April 13th from an instructional day to a teacher workday, holiday for students. This will change the last day for teachers from June 1st to May 29th. It will reduce the assigned contractual days for teachers from 193 to 192, and will reduce instructional days from 180 to 179. And this change provides consistency between the 1920 and 2021 calendars, where the day after the spring break holiday is a holiday for students in both of the calendars, should this change be considered. So a couple of other pieces of information. You might have some questions about instructional time. We will meet the instructional hours, even though that is 179 days, so we will have plenty of hours to address that as well. That's the end.
All right, thank you very much, Dr. Saunders. May I have a motion, please?
Sir, I move that the school board of the city of Manassas waive second reading and approve the proposed revision to the school year 2019-2020 calendar.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Demaria, second by Mrs. Seberg, that the school board of the city of Manassas waive second reading and approve the proposed revision to the SY 2019-2020 calendar. Is there any discussion?
I'll just say, as I normally do, there was a lot of discussion in the academic committee, and it was unanimous that this should go through this way.
Thanks. Any other discussion, questions? Okay, well, on the motion on the table, to approve the proposed revision to the SY 2019-2020 calendar, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? The ayes have it, 5-0. So thank you very much, Dr. Saunders. Next on the agenda, action agenda, student achievement, OHS new course proposals 2020-2021. Mr. Fleegrath, principal of Osborne High School.
Good evening, Chairman Williams, School Board, Dr. Newman. Thank you for advocating for us and our students in Richmond. We appreciate that. We have some courses we'd like to offer to your consideration for approval for our students who want to increase opportunities for our students to take some elective courses in social sciences area. We have 4 courses that we are proposing to add as options for our students to take as electives. They're all semester courses. Oops, okay. We have U.S. History and Film, which is a semester course, followed by World History and Film, Great Lives in History, and Military History. Again, all 4 semester courses. This is, we don't offer very many electives in social studies at Osborne. We have psych and soc. This will widen the opportunities for kids that are interested in history. History, as you know, SOL is not, the requirements have gone down over the years, right? But we still have students that are interested in learning more. This is not as a rigorous as a required course, but more as an elective course that kids have opportunity to learn more about and have shown interest in learning more about. The film courses, we do need some support with some resources there, as I've outlined in the materials section to add to that. And then the Great Lives in History, military history, also with field trips and with bringing in guest speakers. Manassas and Osborne specifically is uniquely positioned for this. Went to some history classes last week, and this week, excuse me, that were touring the battlefield. And the students are well aware of our unique spot in history, American history right here in Manassas. They appreciate that. They want to learn more about history, not only Virginia history, but military history, and even history in Osborne specifically. So there's a thirst for knowledge there. So that's why we thought it'd be good to offer these electives for our students to take. And there's 4 electives there that we like to offer our Solstice. It would not necessarily require additional staffing because we have kids that have already expressed interest in that from other courses. So that is our proposal for your consideration. I appreciate it.
Thank you very
Thank
much. May I have a motion, please?
Sir, I move that the school board of the city of Manassas approve the proposed courses for the 2020-2021. That's going to be a pain in the butt. As presented.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Demaria, second by Mrs. Seberg, that the school board of the city of Manassas approve the proposed courses for the 2020-2021 as presented. Is there any discussion or any question?
The same thing goes here. This was, we got a full report on what's going to happen, and we've already gotten this report and asked all of our questions, and they were all satisfied. Thank you, sir.
No.
Awesome. Motion on the table to approve the proposed courses for the 2020-2021 as presented. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Ayes have it 5-0. It is approved. And thank you, Mr. Fugrath, for presenting it numerous times to us. We appreciate the insight, and it should be very effective and valuable for our students. Wow. Closed session. Next item.
Mr. Chair, I move that the school board enter a closed session pursuant to exemptions from open meetings allowed by Section 2.2-3711, Part A, Paragraph 1 of the Code of Virginia, 1950, as amended for the following purposes. 2.2-3711, Part A, Paragraph 1, discussion of personnel matters, PERS 1920-0234, and 2.2-3711, Part A, Paragraph 2, discussion of the school board student representatives.
Second.
Motion by Ms. Seberg, second by Mr. Demaria, that the school board of the city of Manassas enter a closed session pursuant to exemptions from open meetings allowed by Section 2.2-3711, Part A, Paragraph 1, and Paragraph 2 of the Code of Virginia 1950 as amended for the following purposes. 2.2-3711, Part A, Paragraph 1, discussion of personnel matters, PERS 1920-0234, and Part A, Paragraph 2, discussion of the school board student representatives. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Ayes have it 5-0. We will enter closed session, and the open part of our meeting is done. So thank you all for being here.